All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Akakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. I'm the brother Yashar. I just want to get into a quick topic through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah. Yahweh being the Most High, who the world ignorantly calls God, through his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, two so-called black men. And then the topic of this lesson, a little quick hit, is called be attentive, all right? Be attentive. Based on the scripture I just read, and it just kind of hit my spirit to say, just push the button, do a lesson on it. So I got the basic definition for the word attentive, and it says paying close attention to something, all right? Then I give you an example. And never before have she had such an attentive audience. And similar words is alert, awake, watchful, all right? So us in this truth, all right? Us in this knowledge and this wisdom and understanding of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, you must always be attentive, all right? Pay close attention, all right, to what you're hearing, all right? So what you're hearing from the elders, all right? To these breakdowns, to these prophecies, all right? To learning how to conduct yourself. That's more so the lane I'm bringing for attentive, all right? To pay close attention, all right? Watch your walk in this truth, all right? Your conduct, your the things you say. Don't be hasty to just say, be not rash with thy mouth, So let me get a scripture and Lord willing is edifying. This is Ecclesiasticus 3 and verse 29. It says the heart, your heart goes back to your mind, all right? The heart of the prudent will understand the parable. And who's the prudent? Those that's in the household of faith, the hopeful elect, all right? To be prudent is to have foresight. So we got the foreknowledge of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, all right? Like the scripture says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. How do we hide ourselves? Under the shadows of the Almighty, all right? In the name of the Lord, Yahweh, all right? Through his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah. So it says the heart of the wise, the heart of the prudent will understand a parable. What's the parable? All right, the deep dark sayings, the dark sayings of these scriptures. All right, the scriptures tell you that in Amos 3 and 7, surely the Lord do nothing but revealeth his secrets, all right, unto his servants the prophets. And a part of those secrets is these dark sayings that was given unto us to understand. All right, the Lord said it was given unto you to understand the mysteries thereof, the mysteries of the kingdom, the mysteries of the Gentiles and immortality and who the Israelites are and so on and so forth. All right. It says the heart of the prudent will understand a parable, and an attentive ear. All right. I want a person that's paying attention. All right. That's alert. That got his two ears open and his mouth closed. All right. Be more ready to hear. I'm going to get that scripture next. It says, an attentive ear is the desire of a wise man. So so that's the desire of a wise man, and that's the spirit you want to be in. That's why the scripture I just quoted, and this is more so, young brothers coming in, all right? You got a lot of questions and stuff like that. It'll get answered through the videos. It'll get answered if you just be attentive and listen and be alert and keep your mind ready. This is Ecclesiastes 5 and verse 1. It says, keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of the Most High. Where's the house of the Most High? In the midst of the churches, in the midst of the prophets, all right? Because we are the temple of the Lord. It says where two or three is gathered in the Lord's name, there he is in the midst thereof. So that's the house of the Most High. It says, keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of the Most High, and be more ready to hear. All right, have an attentive ear. Pay attention. Be more ready to hear than to give sacrifice of fools. All right? You got your hand up every 5 minutes. And I get it. You know, Jay got that zeal. But when just be ready to hear and soak in that wisdom. Like my man Lonzo said in it's a movie, whatever, in Training Day, where he told Jake. He said, you in a privileged position to learn a thing or two. You know? Keep your mouth closed and have an attentive ear. So it says, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. All right, so you got to consider. That's the point. It says, be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thy heart be hasty. Don't be so quick to speak, and you know what I mean? I got something to say. You know? The elders and apostles been doing this for before you was even born, before us brothers was even born. Why not? You want to be able to, and like I said, I get it, young men, and, we got that zeal, we got that fire, but, we got to take heed to what the scriptures say. It says, and let not thy heart be hasty to utter anything before the Most High, for the Most High is in heaven, and thou upon earth. Therefore, let thy words be few. Let your words be few. There's another scripture in Sirach. Sirach. Let me see if I can find that. Oh, okay, let's get this one. Oh, yeah, that's the spirit, okay. Ecclesiasticus 32 and verse 8. Let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words. Comprehension. You got to have comprehension skills. Put things together. You know what? Let me just get comprehension real quick. Slovakia. The action or capability of understanding something, all right? And you do that by using few words and being attentive. It all goes together. It's a formula, So it says, comprehending much, so understanding much in few words. Be as one that knoweth, all right? Because you could know and gather all that knowledge and yet hold of his tongue, all right? If thou be among great men, make not thyself equal with them. And when ancient men are in place, all right, you got the elders and apostles. When those ancient men are in place, use not many words. You see that? I'll get one more and that'll be it. This is Ecclesiasticus 8 and verse 9. 8 and verse 8. It says, despise not the discourse of the wise, but acquaint thyself with their proverbs. All right? And the discourse going into their discussions. All right? And this prophecy, history, us giving them giving us their experience so we can learn from it. Despise not the discourse of the wise, all right? And older brothers as well, brothers that's pushing, man. Those the wise men, get thee up to the great men. It says, despise not the discourse of the wise, but acquaint thyself with their proverbs. For of them, see that? For of them thou shalt learn instruction. Only way you can learn instruction is by having an attentive ear, man. All right? And how to serve great men with ease. Miss not the discourse of the elders. You don't want to miss the discourse of the elders. That's why you go to the camps. That's why you stay tapped into the spirit. All right? For they also learned of their fathers, and of them thou shalt learn understanding, and to give answer as need requireth. You see that? And this is a beautiful thing. We in a privileged position, you know? So, it was a quick topic that was on the mind. And Lord willing, it was edifying to the hopeful elect. And with that, shalom.